The monumental Las Ventas bullfighting ring was opened in 1934 with a capacity for an audience of 23,000 people. This makes it the second largest in the world after the Mexico City bullfighting ring. It is nevertheless considered to be the most important bullfighting ring, for which reason it is known as the Bullfighting Cathedral. The coat of arms of each autonomous region is displayed above the upper-level windows of this beautiful, predominantly Mudéjar-style building. Although it sometimes hosts other events, its main function is in the art of bullfighting. Madrid's demanding bullfighting audience has ensured that whoever succeeded in its bullring was later known in all the other bull rings in the world. This was the case with bullfighters like Curro Romero, El Litri, or the ill-fated Manolete. The season is from March to November, including the San Isidro festival, with bullfights every day during the month of May. Just the building itself is a good reason for a visit. And although it includes the Bullfighting Museum, surely there's no doubt that nothing can beat watching a bullfight in such impressive scenery. The inauguration of the Collegiate Church of San Isidro, named for the city's patron saint, took place in the 17th century in its Jesuit style. It functioned as Madrid's unofficial cathedral until Nuestra Señora de la Almudena was completed. Not far from here is the Church of San Francisco the Great, built in stages by people like Ventura Rodriguez and Francesco Sabatini. It was built over another church, which legend has it, had been founded by Saint Francis of Assisi. The result is a beautiful neoclassical facade within a totally Baroque concept. Within its circular ground plan, it includes 6 symmetrical chapels adorned with frescoes, which add a serene touch to the place. All the way from San Francisco el Grande to the Royal Palace, along the Calle Bailén, we cut across the viaduct, the unusual structure connecting the Vistillas area with the Cuesta de la Vega. It's a solid concrete structure that rests its impressive vaulted arches on the Calle de Segovia. Off in the distance, we can see the Almudena Cathedral. The viaduct had been a long-awaited project ever since the completion of the Palacio de Oriente. However, it was not until the beginning of the 20th century, round about the Second Spanish Republic, that it was built. For many years, the viaduct was the favorite spot to commit suicide for many people in Madrid. For this reason, the mayor chose to put up a fence that put a stop to that practice, but didn't stop the view. The Barrio de Huertas, also known as the Barrio de las Letras, the neighborhood of letters, is an area which is normally associated with the literary world, because in the golden age of Spanish letters, it was home to many of the great quills in Castilian literature. The Teatro Español, or Teatro Nacional, presides the Plaza de Santa Ana. This is where the classic works of authors who roamed its streets centuries ago are performed. Authors such as Lope de Vega or Tirso de Molina, playwrights of international stature. Opposite the theater is the statue of another of Huerta's great residents, Calderón de la Barca. Another of the neighborhood's distinguished inhabitants was Don Miguel de Cervantes, whose monument is in the Plaza de España. Considered to be one of the most important novelists in history, The writer is sitting down in this little group with his immortal characters at his feet, Don Quixote de la Mancha and Sancho Panza. Two large buildings preside the plaza. The Torre de Madrid, or Tower of Madrid, is a 33-story building built in 1957 and considered then to be the highest concrete structure in the world. And the Edificio España is considered to be a success of General Franco's dictatorship, built between 1948 and 1953, designed by the Otamendi brothers. The plaza is the ideal place to rest and take a deep breath while sitting on its garden benches. It's also open to traffic, thus forming a gateway to the Gran Via. The Plaza de Callao is right in the middle of the Gran Via, where up to 7 cinemas come together to crowd the place in conjunction with all the shops and theaters. In the 19th century, the Gran Via was the answer to the need for a grand avenue to act as the capital city's main artery. For the effect, different styles of buildings were chosen and became the best of the capital city's modern architecture, such as the La Estrella building at number 10, or the Metropolis building, which was designed by Jules and Raymond Febvre for the insurance company La Unión y el Fénix. The top floors are adorned with allegorical statues of commerce, agriculture, industry, and mining. It is crowned with a representation of winged victory. The Gran Via takes us to the Calle de Alcalá, and then the Fuente de las Cibeles, one of Madrid's biggest symbols. The goddess of agriculture, raised over a sea of cars in a cart pulled by Atlanta and Hippomenes, turned into lions. It's harder at first glance to identify Atis in full trance at the moment of his turning into a plant at the front of the cart. At the back of the cart, 2 cherubs pour water from their urns. This is a design by Ventura Rodriguez and is considered to be his masterpiece due to the elegance and serenity it emanates.